The semantic networks sound like knowledge systems that people were working, like Doug Lenat was working at. Is that true, or has
Well, they
that also?
were, except that they were much more general. So they weren't there. Those expert systems had very specific knowledge about very limited domains. I mean, things like the knowledge graph, literally knows about hundreds of billions of entities. I mean, they know about you. They know about the building that you're sitting in. They know about the computers that we're using. They know about the language, the words that we're using as entities. They literally know hundreds of billions of facts,
Mm-hmm.
and are able to make inferences about those facts and connections between those facts and so on. Now, in principle, it may be that you can encode that kind of information in neural networks, and I think that might be one of the next things happens in neural networks is people start making a bridge between them. But today, that's not mostly what people do with neural networks. What people do mostly with neural networks is more kind of recognition tasks.
Right.
Taking patterns of sensory inputs and putting them into categories.
Marvin once said, if we connected a machine or a robot to a TV, it would be as smart as a human, which I took to also be a derogatory statement about what he thought of the intelligence of most humans. But do you know that line of his, and did it mean?
It sounds very much like something Marvin would have said. I don't specifically remember him saying it, but that was, and that would have been the sense in which he would have meant it. So,
but I took it to mean also that most people get their knowledge about the world through something like television. Some of us even read books, but kind of your generic person.
Right.
Gets it through television, or of course also through contact with the world and other human beings. But any sort of larger knowledge source was for a lot of people the TV, and so I was wondering if he was talking about these sorts of knowledge bases essentially.
Well, I don't know. Marvin was very much into common sense knowledge.
Yeah.
And how did you represent that and so on. And, a lot of society of mind was how do you do things like tell the difference between a dog and a cat and so on. And I think that stuff turned out to be, the stuff that was apparently so easy for us like that turned out to be much harder than the stuff that was apparently very hard for us like playing chess.
But he emphasizes that also. I've been rereading The Society of Mind, and he emphasizes over and over that he thought that the simple things were really the most. What seemed to be simple for us is the most difficult for machines, and that's where he thought the real work would lie, not in sort of expert systems being able to deduce things.
That's right, and I think he has been proved right about that. So. Most of AI is in the difference between a toaster and a 2-year-old, not between a 2-year-old and an expert, right?
Yeah. Right.
So,
although our toaster is still
it's exciting now because we have in that specific area of recognition made some huge strides, and it's gotten people very interested in AI again as a field, and it's got lots of resources in the area. But this also, I think, there's kind of a cycle that happens with these things. Mm-hmm. And so there's some progress, and then people think everything is solved, and then everybody starts wringing their hands about, what happens, when our AI overlords become so much smarter than we are, and then we discover actually, there's a lot more that we don't understand about intelligence than what we've just learned.
Why do you think people like Stephen
Hawking? I'm old enough to have seen 3 cycles of that now.